At the beginning of the movie, a train passing through the desert is shown. A young man named Virgil was traveling on that train to somewhere. In Virgil's berth, a woman sat with her child, both appearing poor and hungry, until after some time the train stopped at the station. Before leaving, Virgil gives half his blanket to that woman. The place where Virgil's train stopped seemed quite deserted. Virgil had booked a vehicle before arriving, but that vehicle had not arrived there yet. So Virgil goes to a nearby shop and asks the shopkeeper about the toilet. The shopkeeper responds to him in the local language. Virgil doesn't understand what he said, but he guesses and continues in that direction. Luckily, he finds a toilet further ahead. The toilet is quite dirty inside, but since there are no other options, he sits there. After a while, Virgil is called by Keith, the driver of the booked vehicle. In the next scene, Keith and Virgil are shown heading toward a place called the compound. There is a brief argument between the two regarding the vehicle's fare. The driver is demanding a much higher fare than the previously agreed price. He is demanding a much higher fare, and since Virgil is new to that place, he has to agree to the driver's demand. After a while, due to the heat, Virgil tries to turn up the AC, but Keith refuses, telling him so. This will increase the engine's pressure and it might shut down. After some time of trouble, the car's tire gets punctured. Virgil helps him change the car tire. At that moment, two dogs are fighting each other at that spot. After discovering that one of the dogs was badly injured, Keith decided to drive the other dog away and proceeded to give the severely injured dog a painful beating as punishment. After changing the tire, both resume heading towards their destination. Sometime later, due to dense darkness at night, they decide to stop there. During their conversation, the driver asks Virgil why he's going to the compound, noting few people visit. Virgil tells him that he saw a job advertisement, so he's planning to start a new life there. The next morning, both move beyond that place. This time, Virgil was driving the car and Keith was resting. Seeing Keith sleeping, Virgil increases the AC speed. But this increases the engine pressure, causing the car to stall. As Keith understands Virgil's action, he scolds Virgil harshly. While Keith is fixing the car's engine, Virgil starts walking nearby. Just a little away from the truck, he sees bizarre-looking stones. When he goes closer to look at them, he realizes that the stones are actually gold. He immediately alerts Keith. Keith says that if this stone turns black after burning, then understand that it is not gold but just a stone. However, after lighting it with a lighter, the stone does not change its color. This makes it clear that it is indeed gold. After that, both dig there to extract the gold stone from that place. But that gold stone is quite large, and it is also buried deep within the ground. Because of this, even after working hard, both cannot budge it. After this, both tie the stone with ropes with the help of a vehicle, and they start trying to extract it, but this method also fails. They continue working until evening. Keith tells Virgil that there is a threat of wild dogs in this area. For this reason, both collect wood to make a fire. Both light the fire and start thinking deeply that how suddenly their fate has changed. Kit begins to dance with joy. After some time, Kit tells Virgil, because they cannot extract this gold alone, he says they will need someone's help, and adds that he knows several people in the city who can assist them in the endeavor, who can lend them a ground-digging machine. But for that, one of the two of them will have to go to the city and bring that machine. Keith asks Virgil to go to the city for this. According to him, this work might take some time, and because Virgil is not accustomed to the environment of this place, he may not be able to stay here alone, but Virgil refuses to do so. He says that he is new to this city, so he doesn't know anyone here. Keith asks him again, to which Virgil says that he is a strong person and can protect himself by staying and sleeping alone here. The next morning, Keith provides Virgil with the necessary items to stay there, including a satellite phone, and then leaves. While leaving, he informs him that it might take about 5 days to bring back the excavation machine after Keith departs. Virgil secures the tent to a tree to stay. After that, he goes and collects firewood for the night. Once night falls, he has dinner, but then he hears the howling of wild dogs. Because of this, he sits holding a knife in his hand. The next morning, when he wakes up, he was feeling very tired. He goes to wash himself. There is not much water for washing dishes. He was thinking when suddenly his phone rings. He goes to answer the phone without washing dishes. But before he could answer the phone, the call gets cut off. Frustrated, Virgil starts to wander around to pass the time. Then he sees the remnants of an old aircraft just a short distance away, and he thinks about using it as a shelter. But the specific location where he chooses to sleep is quite far away from that designated area, so he decides to transport some necessary components of the plane closer to his tent. The second sentence appears incomplete. Could you please provide the full sentence? Burn part of his face. Then he sits near his sleeping area and starts talking to himself in his mind. He thinks about breaking some parts of his sleeping area with a stone. He breaks a small but heavy piece of the sleeping area with a stone. Then he receives a call from Kit, who tells him that there is a slight malfunction in the vehicle's engine, so there might be a delay in bringing the excavation machinery. Virgil tells Kit that he has succeeded in breaking a part of the sleeping area. Kit asks him to stay at the same place to defend Sony. He says that he will reach there as soon as possible. At night, Virgil builds a fire near the sleeping area and sits down. Wild dogs try to approach him. To avoid them, Virgil uses a torch for protection. Early the next morning, Virgil starts drinking a little water from the container. But then he sees a snake approaching him. He makes an attempt to kill her, resulting in the snake fleeing from the area, but in his effort to kill her, Virgil's water bottle slips and falls down, and a lot of water flows away. After a while, he goes back to Hawajarg and takes out some parts to build shelter. At that moment, a stranger approaching in his direction is seen. He rushes inside the plane to hide from him. After a while, he approaches a Johnny Hawaii Jai and tells Virgil to get out from there. It turns out that the stranger is a woman. She tells Virgil that this plane is her hiding place. She asks him the reason for coming here, but Virgil doesn't respond. The woman tries to give Virgil water and food, but Virgil refuses to take anything from her. The woman finds Virgil's behavior quite strange. She says that Virgil is definitely hiding something from her. She starts asking Virgil question after question. Virgil, irritated by her, starts to get up to leave and tells her not to interfere in his affairs. Meanwhile, the woman sees Virgil's shelter. She begins to break his shelter and asks him to leave from there. Virgil gets very angry at her actions and kills her there. After that, whatever essential things he needed from her, he keeps them with him and buries her body nearby. But after a while, a wild dog is seen tearing the woman's body from the carcass and eating it. Virgil forcefully chases it away and drags Arat's lifeless body a little further, then mercilessly sets her body on fire. While doing all this, tears begin to well up in his eyes. Perhaps for a moment, the human inside him was awakened. The sound of the phone the next morning opens his eyes. Keith tells him that the excavator machine has arrived. But because the machine is heavy, it will take some time to arrive. Virgil starts crying upon hearing this. He asks to wait for some time. He sees a truck leaving from his side, but the greed for gold was not allowing him to leave. He gathers some wood for the night. Then he sees a raging storm approaching him. He tries to run towards his shelter to escape it, but then the parts of his shelter also begin to fly in the air. He starts running to save himself, but a tree branch comes straight and targets his stomach. After a while, the storm calms down. When Virgil's eyes open, he finds himself buried in a pile of sand. The tree branch was embedded inside his stomach. Greed had ridden him so badly that he forgets the pain from the branch stuck in his stomach and goes to search for gold stones instead. After sifting in the mud for a while, he finds that stone. Then Virgil pulls the twig out of his stomach, and a lot of blood flows as he removes it. Next, he heats the kin lid and burns his wound with it to free the creature. At the same time, he rubs sand all over his entire face, and he passes out right there. When he comes to, there is a woman holding a bough in front of him. Seeing her, Virgil begins to see the woman he had met before, as if he had killed her. The other woman gives Virgil water to drink, and she leaves from there. When Virgil's eye swells, His eyes are searching for that Arat. To the one who had given him water, Vargil thinks that he must have been possessed. Then his phone rings. Keith tells Vargil that he is very close. After the call ends, Arat comes back to Vargil and reaches out to help him. But greed had already become so overpowering within him. Fearing he might get lost somewhere instead of reaching Sony, he asks her to leave. Before leaving, the woman asks about her missing sister. She was the same woman whom Vargil had killed. Vargil remains silent, and after a while, many wild dogs surround him. He immediately calls Keith and asks him to come quickly. Keith says he's about to arrive. Vargil starts crying, begging for him to come quickly. In the next scene, it becomes clear that Kit was sitting nearby, watching her. After a short while, wild dogs begin gnawing on Virgil's plants. And Virgil is simply fixated on his gold, while Kit is watching all of this. After Kit kills Virgil with the wild dogs, he arrives there with his truck, which has an excavator attached at the back. He looks at Virgil's corpse and goes inside the vehicle to take something. But as he turns back, an arrow strikes his chest. Before dying, Kit tries to see who killed him. However, he sees no one there. The arrow was shot by the same woman who came to Virgil's place while searching for her sister. Seeing Virgil's actions made her suspicious of him, and she was watching him from afar. This way, she also found out about the buried gold there. Seizing the opportunity, in the final moments, she punishes Kit for his deeds. And with that, the movie comes to an end. Friends, if you have enjoyed this video, we encourage you to subscribe to our channel so that we can continue to create and deliver more engaging and similar videos for you. Thank you.